High Plains Technology says it's time for school.
Well, here we are. It's Wednesday. It's September the 7th, and it's time for school. Again, welcome back. Good to have you. Katie Shirley and Barclay Holt, good morning from High Plains Technology Center.
Great to be back.
Good to have you guys.
Yes, good to be back in the studio. So today I thought I'd bring with me our Superintendent Barclay Holt, and we kicked off school about 4 weeks ago, maybe August 19th. So this year we've got a pretty full house with about 660 students. 253 of those are our daytime students in our 12 career programs, and then we've got 366 TAP students. So that is that program's growing. We've got 16 WIN students and 9 practical nursing students. So they're all in the groove of things and moving along.
We're doing the math. I'm like, 4 weeks already?
Yeah.
It has been. It's hard to believe.
Yeah, gone fast. Already named our Students of the Month. So we'll announce those soon. Barclay, tell us, now that we're starting your second year as Superintendent of High Plains, give us a highlight of your first year as in that role.
Just one would be.
You can give a couple.
We kind of talked through, but no, we were talking about earlier, and like I told you, I think probably going back on the first year, one of the things that I kind of wanted to put in place and promised not only the board but some of our staff members and administration is that we wanted to get a plan and just have a master plan of what the campus would look like, where we were headed at High Plains, what it would look like. And because I think it's really easy to get caught up in day to day, and I catch myself doing that all the time, personally and professionally. And I thought it'd be good that we put together a plan that basically outlasts me. I mean, just shoot at that goal. And I mean, if you look at my tenure, if you look at the average tenure of a superintendent at High Plains, it's approximately 8 to 15 years, just given the longest ones lasted 15 to 20, but I think the average in that's like 8.5, 9 years on superintendent. So if you said, look out 10 years and said something that's pretty close on me probably, and then you look out past that, don't make a plan for yourself, but make it for the future and what High Plains is going to look. And so we kind of dove into some of that stuff this year. We're right in the middle of a entire campus-wide survey that we're doing, and when I say survey, a land survey to try to, over 40 years you have a lot of lines running across that campus that you don't know where they're at and things like that. So that's the first part of that. We've got a plan for a health careers renovation that's been on the books. Mr. Hughes, we worked on this thing 10 years ago as an addition. We're now going to renovate our top floor. Much more cost-effective way to do that, and so that's in the works to happen. So we're going to have that entire top floor, about 16,000 square feet. That was something that we've packed that health program into a very small space for a long time, and so and anybody that's out there listening or otherwise knows that the health careers just continue to grow. So. Our CNA program, our LPN, we're looking at CMA, just a lot of things out there. And so that's an area that we wanted to facilitate that and put the growth out, put a spot together that could be grown into somewhat as well. And then some of it we've already outgrown before, and we need to get more space for them. So that's exciting on that. And then our meeting rooms then will be downstairs. So when you come into High Plains, you'll just go immediate left. There'll be where old LPN is where what we'll look at there for meeting rooms. I think it'll be easier to navigate somewhat and utilize the space we already had. The biz area just continues to grow. Our training, oil and gas, wind, general safety training out there. And so that, when Taylor started, probably in the neighborhood of 3-4 employees in there full time. Today we're upwards of 10, 11 on that side that are full time, and then adjunct wise we run a lot of training people through there each week. That kind of warrants its own facility, and we're looking at that down the road to have a facility that is a biz facility, because there's so many things that cross over when you got daytime students and then you got adults. some of the drills, some of the things safety wise that we're all aware of happened terribly over the recent years that nobody wants to think about, but they're just there. We have to be very cognizant of those things, and I think another facility that kept the adults away from the high school where we can more close that up at times when we need to is certainly something that could help on a safety standpoint, but also just the sheer need of the facility. We're past there. So the county's working with us and stuff. We're fixing to do some dirt work out there and going to have a couple CDL classes that are going to happen next spring. So getting the CDL program back going, bringing that because it's just needed. And anyway, it's that's a lot of high points, but it's the things that have happened recently, and just I think having a good plan to that was kind of would probably be the high point.
Yeah, it is pretty nice to have that, and everybody's aware of progress moving forward and what to expect. So that's been nice. So what else in the past year as superintendent in your role did you enjoy doing, or that was just a highlight?
Enjoy seeing everything from, I guess, in the superintendent seat, you get to see everything and how it all comes together at the top, and use top real loosely because I don't feel that way about my seat at all, never have. But getting to see, coming in as a teacher, as I came into the profession 25 years ago, and then going into the biz department, working on that side some for 4 or 5 years, and then coming across administration, getting to see all of it come together at the top is probably the coolest thing that I get to do. And you're not sitting back. I was telling somebody just earlier, you get, once school starts, it's a different perspective. I mean, it's a different pace in our office, because during the summer it's getting people hired, it's getting everything done. Late spring, it's getting all your renovations, things repainted, stuff brought up to date, and you still don't have all that done by September 1, but you're close. And then when the kids get there, everything finds its place again, and that's a cool part of where I get to sit and getting to see those kids in the programs, get to see their growth. I mean, there's not an individual that doesn't come to that to High Plains that doesn't grow in some way. Some of them quicker than others, some of them more than others, some of them less, and their growth might individually in some ways be more. And it's just crazy to see each one of those young people, students, get to participate, learn something about themselves, and then see those teachers. And that's another thing. I guess I get to see my teachers as students too.
Yeah.
I mean, I was up on the hill this morning, and you see things up there with guys that are teaching adults from all over the United States that come in there each week, and you get to see the growth those instructors make, and you get to see when they see their kids, they're as excited about what's going on, and the overall involvement of the staff. I mean, it's like one big classroom for me. I've got 55, 56 employees, and it's like me watching the classroom work every day, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well, as one of those employees, I think it was a great first year, and we're all excited about the direction we're headed. And we've got some new employees. Our new counselor is Audra Holderman. She came from Vici. And then we have Kevin Dixon, who is one of those adjuncts who's now a full-time safety instructor, and Dalton Sparks, another safety instructor. And then did I miss anyone?
Cooper will be coming on. We got a couple new ones coming on to be approved at the next board meeting. So it just keeps we're trying to get those things filled, and like I said, you got most of that done by September 1, but it doesn't always happen that way.
Right.
And we're getting through it. But yeah, I mean that's I don't kid anybody when I say it's not easy today. We train these guys in the wind or oil and gas or safety training, whatever, or diesel, auto, wherever they're at, and it just continues to get harder and harder to get them. I mean, we know the good ones that are out there. Mm-hmm. We know the ones that have got could make a niche in teaching or the education deal, and it just gets harder and harder to to get people hired. I mean, that's just
Right.
the way it is. There's a lot of hurdles there that weren't there 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But people that want to work have got a good job. I mean,
Yep.
It's just the way it is.
So we've got some short-term classes I wanted to share coming up. We've got quite a few starting tonight, and then there's still a time to enroll in quite a few. So you can go to our website at hptc.edu and check those out. Some of those are QuickBooks, phlebotomy, beekeeping, basic Spanish, and CNA classes. So check those out. We're busy rolling those out. Well, thank you, Barclay, for being my guest today. And we'll be back here next week on 100.1.